for anyone watching this who doesn't know, Canadian snipers are the stuff of legend. It is, go on Wikipedia, look at the longest shots that have ever been taken. The longest is from a Canadian. The Canadians are on that top 10 list multiple times, I think maybe 3 or 4 times. Very impressive stuff. What is it about Canadian snipers that apparently makes them just so unbelievably good?
um, well, I would say a few things. I would be remiss if I didn't give a shout out to the American counterparts that have helped make that possible too. Like I have to say that because it would be irresponsible and I would be lying from this point forward if there wasn't a huge play between us and them. In the military itself, I don't know. I think one of the things that happened is we had a really great gun developed from, Prairie Gun Works. They created a gun called the Coyote and one called the Timberwolf, which is the 338 model. And the 338 model, it was a spectacular, it still is a spectacular gun. And in order to make that shot, once you start getting mile or more, you need a spectacular gun. You need something that has some kind of combat repeatability. And I say that because if I was to take out like a high-end bench gun and go overseas and like lug it in up the mountains and bang it around and all that, it probably wouldn't be so efficient. So we had that, which was very important. And two things that definitely happen, whether it's in the regular army or in the SF, is our sniper troops are held separately from everything else. And it gives them time to be snipers. So lots of units, the snipers are embedded in with the kind of saber squadrons or things of that nature. And so you're robbing from Peter to pay Paul. If you have to be, wear this hat and the sniper hat, well, your head's only so big. It can only hold so many hats, right? So that's a huge one. And then I don't know, it's got to be something in our culture or DNA, just for funsies.
It's it's incredible. I mean, it's actually when you look at the population of Canada, they're so disproportionately represented on the list of the best sniper shots ever made. It's like almost a statistical anomaly. I mean, I say that as a compliment. It's incredible that they're that represented. I mean, is long range outdoor shooting like a hobby people have in Canada? Is it something that is done by people who live in more rural areas, or is it just something you get taught when you go to the military?
I So we had some gun registry changes happen the last few years. So this may impact this step, but there was a time when um, Canadians love this saying when compared to the US. We use the term per capita.
Yeah.
But Canadians per capita actually have a lot of guns, which a lot of people don't really think about Canadians and guns the same way. And so, yeah, I would say there's a tendency towards rural shooting because we have so much land, but I don't think it's necessarily more so. But this can't be discounted either, Dave, is opportunity. Whatever Marcus Aurelius says, luck is when skill meets opportunity or practice or whatever he says, right? Where the opportunity has to present itself. And that is a statistical anomaly. We try to set up conditions as soldiers for our own or the best outcome, whatever that might be. But until the target presents itself in a certain way at a certain time, you just don't have that option. You know what I mean? You try to create it as much as possible. So that becomes a kind of an unweighable factor too.
And I'm at a loss. It's just so stunning for me to run the information tonight. I encourage everyone watching this to go check out the list on Wikipedia.